Greetings, family. Welcome to Black Talk Radio, where black radio stations matter. Today is January 8th, 2018, and today's video is about the history, or the forgotten history, that is, of affirmative action. Let's take a look at this video, and I hope that you pay attention to exactly what they're saying, because if you're like me, then you will pick up on key points. I'll point those out to you later in case you miss them, but let's take a listen.
Affirmative action began as riot control. Harlem was up in flames. Bed-Stuy was up in flames. Newark was up in flames. And if we don't do something to bring in young black people to the mainstream economically and educationally, we're not sure the society will hold together. The words affirmative action initially were attempts to deal with discrimination that African Americans face in the labor market. There were executive orders by President Kennedy and President Johnson which said employers had to make a good faith effort to use affirmative action in their hiring and recruitment policies, which meant they were going to try to recruit people who had once been discriminated against.
I have some very sad news for all of you, and that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis.
After the assassination of Dr. King, there were riots in 60 American cities simultaneously. The leaders of the society, whether they were in government, business, or academia, said, this society can't hold together if black people are burning the cities. And they're burning the cities because they feel excluded. So we've got to bring them into our workplace. We got to bring them into our educational institutions. We got to let them feel that they have a stake in the society. It was a very effective response to urban unrest. Hundreds of thousands of people being hired by major corporations who wouldn't have been hired. You had colleges admitting large numbers of black students who previously only admitted a handful. It really changed the country. But it wasn't done because of a sudden burst of conscience. It was done out of fear that the society was falling apart. And when the fear passed, the sense of urgency about recruiting those large numbers of people started to dissipate as well.
So I just showed you a video from a so-called affirmative action historian, and he told you exactly what he felt the history of affirmative action is. And I don't have a problem with that per se, but I just want to bring up a couple things. I thought it was an interesting point that he made, that this society would not last if black people were not brought into the fray economically, educationally, period, because black people and others, I'm sure, were burning America up. And white America knew that this country would not last if they didn't do something tangible. And so here we have affirmative action, because affirmative action is, of course, the right thing for any racist nation to do, to give others an opportunity to live. Right? And so I recall when I got a particular job in high tech, I'll never forget this white boy who came up to me and didn't even know me and literally told me that, you know why you got the job, right? And I said, no, why did I get the job? He said, because of affirmative action. Just straight to my face. Back then, I didn't really have the knowledge and the power that I have now, because of course no one could come up to me and say something stupid like that now. But nonetheless, he felt, you know, with his white privilege and all, that it was okay to say that to another human being. And he did. This was a white boy. And of course, because they have that kind of gall to say shit like that to just other people, because, you know, they don't have scruples themselves. So of course they're going to say something stupid, right? Now, I'll have some commenters say, oh, you sound racist. You know what? Shut up. Just shut up. We're tired of your shit. That's what the whole point is. We're just tired of your shit. We're tired of your shenanigans. You know, how you always turn things around and you play like you're the victim, white America. No, you're not. And so, anyways, I just wanted to play that because I thought it was an interesting point. Because as you saw across your video footage screen that I saw is that, yeah, America was burning up in 60 some odd cities. And they couldn't handle that. So, of course, the schools start letting in black people. Jobs and companies started hiring blacks. They did the right thing. Of course, that was the right thing. So, in 2017, we have discussions about affirmative action still because there are a segment of people who feel like it's not necessary. We don't need it. Yet, when you look around at a lot of the companies, you'll see a whole lot of white faces and a few sprinkles of color here and there. And they say, oh, it's because, well, you're not qualified. But yet they hire all these white people who they say are qualified. And I'm going to tell you, my experience working with other white folks on the job, there's been some who don't know what the hell they're doing. So the lie is, oh, we hire based on merit. You're full of shit. We're just full of shit. And that's what the arguments has always been. You guys always have made arguments that just didn't hold water, period. Because what you're doing is being unfair to black Americans, period, point blank. Nothing more, nothing less. And let's not forget that affirmative action was put in place because of the discrimination against black people for far too long. So of course we had to do something. Something had to be done. That's when affirmative action came about. And white people still today have an issue with it. Dumb. That's all I can say. Let's not forget, before there was a black affirmative action, there was always white affirmative action. Affirmative action, skin color preferences and privileges that were maintained for whites. That's right. I'll repeat it. Affirmative action, skin color preferences and privileges maintained for whites. That's what this nation has done for the longest. Last but not least, this book right here I'm holding that I'm showing you on my screen is a book that I'm reading right now, When Affirmative Action Was White. That's right. This book is published by Ira Katznelson, and I'm not really even halfway through the book, but I will report on this book at some point in time in the near future because it does mention about when affirmative action was white, and it outlines the different programs that they had for white people that they failed to even bring up, that they failed to even talk about. But I'm gonna expose it and let you know about it in due time. For now, this is Black Talk Radio reporting to you, bringing you another video on the history of affirmative action. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Peace out.